Hello, hi, Melanie Gamla, I'm Khanya. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Running Podcast. Today's guest is one of South Africa's finest trail athletes, Kane Reilly. He's not only known for his speed in the mountains, but also for the resilience and balance he's found through running. I'm so excited to dive into his journey, the highs, the lows, the setbacks, and everything in between. Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me and coming through.
Yeah. Of course. Welcome to the Running Podcast. Typically I would sit with road runners and not so much trail runners, but I was like, you know what? Actually, trail is still running, and I think it's a cool form of running. I mean, I don't know if you can even say that, but visually, it's probably Erin's favorite. Erin says she doesn't like road because it's not aesthetically pleasing. Mm-hmm. So trail is her thing. And I was like, well, I can see it. And I was like, well, why not tap into, a bit of trail, talk to some trail runners. And I think there's a lot more questions or things that I'm interested when it comes to trail running. And I think you are a great person to have. I mean, I've had Bianca on here as well. She's great. And I was like, well, why not get more trail runners on here?
Well, yeah, good to hear. Just first off, I love all kinds of running. So trail, road, cross country, athletics, whatever it is. I always say I guess my main love is trail, and I love being in the mountains, but I certainly identify as a runner, any kind of running.
Yeah.
So I think, I guess that's it. Yeah.
That's cool. Have you done any road races, or is it more mainly trail?
So I guess I started off my running journey started off more on the road, track and field, cross country. I suppose more your traditional genres of running, and it was only a fair amount later that I got into trail. So I have a base in those forms, and then I spent a long time just running on the trail.
Okay.
And a couple of years ago, I kind of started to dabble a bit more again in road running and cross country in particular. Not quite the track, it's a bit too far from trail, but and I really enjoyed it. So I mean, at the beginning of this year, I did a few road races.
Nice.
And I like to mix it up. Yeah. So I definitely
we know you're a Terex runner, but what would you prefer, road or mountain?
No, mountain for sure. Mountain for sure. But I love that there's opportunity to do both.
Yeah.
So I mean, for example, this year up until Two Oceans, I mostly did road running.
Okay.
Almost I suppose you would like to say a road running block.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun because there's so many cool races around Cape Town, and you can jump into these races against really good athletes and have a lot of fun 5 minutes from home. And I do think it really complements trail. So that kind of training, that kind of racing, I think helps you become a better trail runner too.
Oh, wow.
But look, it's just nice to kind of diversify. I think the mountains are beautiful, but getting into a proper road race is it's a lot of fun. It's fast. It's highly competitive. And
I'm so glad Erin's sitting next to you and she's hearing this.
I was a little bit of a debate. I sit on both sides of the debate. So if somebody says to me road running is boring, I'm no, it's you don't know road running. I know road running then, because for me road running is very, very exciting.
Erin, I hope you're taking notes.
There's things that make each type special.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
What would you say is the exciting factor of road running? Just because I'm more on the road running end, and I get Erin's side in terms of it does get boring. You literally just hitting the tarmac and you're just going, and it's just well, it's not really scenic. And you also sometimes take the views for granted. You're just I've seen the promenade so many times, I'm fine. What would you say is the exciting thing? Is it because you're coming from more on the trail side and you're doing something that's slightly different?
Yeah, I think that's probably a little part of it. But for me, it's more the performance side and the competitive side of it. I guess, if I speak now about what interests me personally in road running is when I grew up doing it.
Yeah.
So it was my first intro to the sport. And then when I was 15 years old, my heroes were Haile Gabriel Selassie, and I wanted to run a 30-minute 10K.
Great athlete.
And it's to a degree, I still have those same kind of feelings as to like who some of
Yeah.
my heroes are and some of the like athletic like goals or dreams I'd like to try and hit. So yeah, it's often like from a performance side. And racing, like again, like you can get into some really fun races,
Yeah.
but it's easy. Like, there's a good road race almost every weekend, like almost throughout the year.
Actually, that's so true.
So I mean, that's personally, and
That's
then I
actually
guess
so true.
the second part is like I'm just a big road running fan, like I always have been, and pretty lucky now that like my job, or sorry, my role at Adidas involves being involved in road running.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, that's a great segue into like my next question. Like you obviously are a Terex runner and you travel a bit for, your races, but you also have a full-time job and you also have a family. Like what is your work-life balance? All of that. How do you manage to do all of those things?
yeah, I think. Well, she was like definitely at the moment. There's like not a lot of time where I don't sit around bored at all, which
Yeah.
is I think a good thing. Yeah, I just think like everything you've just mentioned, like my family, my role at Adidas, my kind of being an athlete, they're all things that I'm very passionate about and like really want to have as big parts of my life. So it's easy. It's like I want to be doing all these things. And then it's
Yeah.
just a case of like, how do you make it all work together in the best way possible? And, I think, I guess there's enough time. Like I do think there's enough time. I guess
I think you're the first
moments.
person in the history of humans to say there's enough time. I'm always like 24 hours is not
Yeah.
enough time in the day.
But whatever you're doing, you always feel like that, right? Like when
Yeah.
you're a student, you're like, oh, I'm so busy, like there's no time. And then when you get a
Yeah.
job, you're like, oh, I'm so busy, there's no time. And when you get kids, you're like, oh, I'm so busy, there's no time. So I do just think it's about making it work.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
like for me as an athlete now, like I know I've got before 7:30 in the morning
Yeah.
to train, and I've got like my afternoon slot.
So
And like
utilizing literally every hour.
those are my time
of the
slots.
day.
Like I run in the morning before the rest of the family wakes up. I get home, make coffee for my wife Pips, and get ready for
Yeah.
the school run. And it works. And then I get to work and I love what I do. And I leave and I can spend time evening with my family. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just grateful to be juggling all these things, should I say.
I mean, it's a lot to juggle. It's a lot. But I think also when you find that good work-life, family kind of balance, it just all works. And it's also just making the time for it because you want to make the time for it because those are things that you love.
Yeah, 100%. It's like I wouldn't not want any one of those things in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like grateful, like I've got an incredibly supportive family.
Yeah.
My wife understands what I do and why I do it and knows like, what I need. And yeah, I mean, without her support, it's like certainly wouldn't be possible to juggle what I am and like Adidas.
Yeah.
Like, the last couple of years have been amazing in terms of being able to like really like explore what I can do as an athlete, and grow kind of in the workspace at the same time, which has always been like a dual goal I've had. Like I want to be competitive. I want to see what I can do as an athlete, but like I also want to grow in the workplace, grow my career, like learn things, be involved in like cool projects. And at the moment I have the opportunity to do that, which is great.
That's so sick. I kind of want to dive more into like your running career. You have a very interesting running career. I Googled and I definitely looked up some stuff. And I know that you've done a lot.
I'm second at Otter like 100 times. So.
Well, you'll come first this year.
Oh, jeez.
But I mean, just kind of looking at the stats, but also looking at the races that you've taken part in and also like distance-wise. I think it's such an incredible like achievement, all those things, like all the races that you've run and being able to like, I mean, you've done 100K a couple of times and I was just like, that's very impressive. Personally,
not successfully, but I have crossed the finish line. Yeah.
You know what? That's a success because you crossed the finish line.
I agree, yeah.
And I just find that so interesting. And I've always wanted to like kind of tap into people's mindsets who've done ultras. And I'm just like, what is it? Like, how do you get to that point to be like, you know what, I want to run 100 Ks? Because I mean, it took me a very long time to say, I want to do 42.2, like do a marathon. But then I was like, I could never do anything beyond that because I already know how much headroom you would need to like just prepare for a marathon and actually do it. But I'm just like, to get to that point of like, I'm going to do 100K.
Yeah, I think like, I mean, every distance seems far, every challenge seems hard until you've kind of done it, right? So, I mean, a marathon seems like a long way, and then you do a few marathons, and then it stops feeling like such a long way. And then, you know, so I just feel like it's kind of, it's all relative. It's like what you used to, what you've trained for.
Yeah.
But for like, I mean, for me, I like, oh man, it's like, it's all about curiosity. So whether that's like, oh, I run 60 Ks, I wonder what I'll feel like at 80 Ks, or like, what do you go through? What different challenges are there? Like, what will the experience be like?
Yeah.
What will the route look like?
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of curiosity that would guide me in like a 10K road race. It's like, oh, like, how fast can I go?
Yeah.
So I suppose, yeah, like my racing, like ambitions and high pick races, high pick goals is mostly guided by curiosity. And like the ultra space, the 100K, 100-mile distance, I like being out there for a long time. And, you know, I'm just like, it's a cool journey and adventure. And yeah, that's why I've like dabbled in the past because I've been a bit curious, and now haven't done one for a while, but will certainly in the future.
Sure. I mean, if we had to go back to like your very first one, like, I mean, I'm sure there must have been some aches and pains and like mentally just going through a lot. I recently spoke to Henku who did his first 100K, and he took me through like the whole emotional roller coaster of it all. And he was saying like you do go through like a lot of high moments, and he said like he experiences his highest of high. Like when they talk about runner's high, like he experienced that on an emotional level, but also experienced like a down. And just wanted to actually just finish when you got to like 16, like the last 16K mark. It's just like, okay, I'm done. Now I'm over it. I just want to get home.
Yeah, 16K last 16K is not a bad mark to get to before you're ready to call it a day in 100K. Yeah.
I think he was ready to call it a day even before, but like he knew that he wanted to finish it. But then I think he just almost threw in the towel at like the last 16Ks. It was just like, okay, now I'm done.
Tapped out.
Yeah. So how did you, if you had to think back to like your first 100K, like how was that? Was that also like pretty much the same experience?
Well, I mean, I dropped out at 60Ks in my first 100K, to be honest. So, yeah, I guess that's part of the reason why running 100Ks, running 100 milers is appealing, is that there's like no certainty that you're necessarily even going to finish.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, there's a competitive side, but it's also just like yourself getting through the route. Like that's part of the challenge. And every 100K I've done has been super tough. Like, to be totally honest, like I don't think I've ever gone into a 100-kilometer being like prepared. Like I go into a trail marathon now, like knowing I'm prepared.
Yeah.
So I look forward to one day going in and being like, okay, I'm actually ready to roll. But like, I'm very grateful for all the experiences I've had, because most of them all the 100K races I've had have been about finishing in the end.
Yeah.
It's been like, maybe I start off trying to be competitive and then things kind of slide. And then it's like, finishing is important. I want to finish. I want to cover this whole route. And then it becomes like that. And like those survival march at the end, which is like, you know, a different kind of experience to like maybe racing near the front. And so yeah, there's lots of different types of fun, right? Like, you know,
I don't know if 100K would be fun to me.
I like all the different types of fun. So you know, suffering through the end of 100K when you couldn't eat for 50Ks and you like, you know, it's like, it's terrible, but then you like keep moving and you're like, wow, it's amazing that I can actually keep moving.
Yeah.
And like the feeling of accomplishment when you cross the finish line, is, yeah, I mean, it's great.
Mentally, like, if you don't finish a race, like what does that do to you? And like how do you come back from that?
Yeah,
Ooh, now we're going
it's
deep
never
now.
no, like I actually I don't think it needs to be like too deep. It's I mean, I think if you ask the question to 100 different athletes, you'll probably get 100 different answers. Um, it hurts a lot. Like I want to finish races. Like I do
Yeah.
want to be an athlete who finishes races. For me, it's like unless you really feel like you're gonna do significant damage to your health, like it's a good thing to push through because
Yeah.
it's you just feel like you feel better, like you feel
Yeah.
better about it. I just think it's the right thing to do. So like dropping out of a race because you're not having the kind of day you hope for, like for me, like that's not on. If I was to do that, I would be upset with myself. But if you drop out because like something's wrong with you physically that could lead to not being able to run for a while,
Yeah.
like for me, like then I would like be okay with coming to the decision to drop out because
Yeah.
I love running. So like if it's going to be not running for 6 months, like I don't know, I can't make that.
Yeah.
Like that's not a worthwhile sacrifice for me. But yeah, I like the feeling of finishing a race, like even when it goes badly, is like it's a great feeling. It's like it
Yeah.
always ends up being like a super valuable experience, like pushing
Yeah.
through those bad days. So I'll always try, but like everyone's human and like it does happen. And I won't carry it around with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you come back with a bit of like vengeance the next time to say, you know what? I've got this. I'm gonna attempt this again and do it again and like actually try my best. Like, or try, I don't know, like
Yeah.
if I had to go through that, I'll always say, okay, cool. That happened. That's in the past. Let's try again.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know vengeance. I don't think I would like use, I don't know if I'd use that word, but it's, I mean, often like if I do a race, it's because like I want to, like run the whole route. I want to have the whole experience. And then when your experience is cut short, it's like you want to go back and you want to get that complete experience.
Yeah.
Like you want to tick that box.
Yeah.
So maybe from that perspective, like, I mean, I know I ran the UTCT 100K for the first time. I dropped out at Hout Bay and I was like, yeah, well, like I haven't completed the loop, right? So I want to go back and complete the loop. So I did years later. It was also tough. It was a death march, probably the last 50 Ks. But it was a good feeling to go back and complete the loop, even though I wasn't like as competitive as like I would hope to be in any kind of running race.
Yeah. I would also think that would be a really good feeling to be able to know that I couldn't do it the first time, but I can do it again the next time and kind of complete that. And also, obviously, you've done a couple of international races. You've taken part in UTMB. I actually want to know, before I jump into my next question, how was that experience like running at UTMB? Because those are big races and international races.
Yeah, like UTMB is like it's an incredible spectacle to witness or be a part of. Like, I mean, I guess like people often say it's like the Super Bowl of trail running, and it really is. Like just in terms of the number of runners in the small town of Chamonix where it's hosted is, the amount of media, like just the general interest.
Yeah. I've only ever seen pictures. Like it looks incredible.
Yeah. So I mean,
like,
the event itself is like the biggest thing in our sport, but the place, like it's hosted, it starts in a town called Chamonix in the French Alps, and you basically traverse the Mont Blanc Massif and you go through like France, Italy, Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
And if you do the full loop, and then all the races are kind of different segments of this loop around the mountain. And like aesthetically, it's like an incredible place to run or hike or just be. So you combine those two things. It's like it's an amazing spectacle from like an event perspective.
Yeah.
But then also like the area itself is magic.
And what's like the support like? Like in terms of cheer zones.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen pictures like at the end.
Yeah.
Like what it looks like when you come running in at the finish. Like it looks insane.
It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, it's not like, it's not like at the Tour de France level, but there's moments and there's areas where you get like the Tour de France feel. So the there's a lot of people out there en route. Whereas like often here or in some races, the gun will go off. You'll spend 2, 3, 4, 20 hours in the mountain, and then you arrive back at the finish line and you see like
everyone.
like you just don't see people on the route. And I love both those experiences.
Yeah.
Like running through crowds, like feeding off other people's energy, and just like being relatively solo in the mountains. Like those are both like experiences that are part of our sport, and I really enjoy both for their different like reasons. Yeah.
I really want to go and spectate at a trail race. I just don't want to hike to go and spectate. Yeah. But I think it'll be such a fun day out there. I know a lot about UTCT. Erin has definitely given me a few things. Just like, girl, you need to get out there.
Yeah.
Especially Cliff Corner. I've seen a lot of people up there.
It'll be hard to beat the Cliff Corner experience, like anywhere in the world. Firstly, like if you hike up Cliff Corner on any sunset, any given day, it's a pretty magical experience. And now you go and you fill it with like the crowd and the 100-miler runners, like basically starting their journey into the night up and over Table Mountain. It's supporting up there is definitely like, you know, one of the most like special moments I've experienced in the sport for sure.
I honestly think like when it comes to roadside support, it's so crucial for people running the race. It really does give you that momentum to kind of push and to keep going, to be like, okay, cool, I'm going to see my people. And it's always nice to see your people. I remember running like my first marathon, and actually my first half, I ran 2 oceans for my first half.
That's a good run in terms of people on the side of the road, yeah.
It is, but also a very terrible first half marathon run. Probably should have ran something with more flat.
Yeah, it's not flat. Yeah.
No. But to be able to see your people at the most crucial points, it literally gives you like this pep in your step and like this excitement to like, okay, cool, I can finish. This is really exciting. So I can't imagine like obviously hiking up Cliff Corner and seeing your people up there. That must be really exciting.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess I'm running the 100K, but the real Cliff Corner moments is during the 100-mile event, which is the Friday evening, like early evening, late afternoon. So I've only been out there as a spectator and actually a camera runner. So I've filmed the leaders out there before.
Oh, sick.
So like, but being a spectator and like seeing the runners come through and seeing like all their emotions. I mean, there's like so many amazing photos are taken in that moment, because like you've got this like passionate, mostly local crowd, and then you've got runners, like essentially starting their journey across what is a very hard route.
Yeah.
And they're going to spend the night. They're not going to see anyone for the night. They'll see the aid station people, but they're basically going into the dark over Table Mountain, and then they'll most likely see their crews, like the next morning.
I think I'm going to go this year to spectate, not to run. I feel like anything I say in this podcast, people actually hold you accountable.
You can hold you accountable for that.
I'm going to go and spectate. I'm not running this year.
No, it's pretty epic. It's very cool.
You also recently ran the George Might as well, and I'm from George.
Oh, you? Wow, okay. Yes.
I didn't even know there was a race going on, and apparently it was going on for so long, and I was like, I didn't know people in George actually ran, and they actually ran up the mountains.
Yeah. I mean, George, there's a really big trail running community in George now. I
love how you say now, because that's very true.
Yeah.
Before, there was never. Running was never a thing. I think the only sports things that were ever happening was literally school sports. And the 2 biggest sports was literally rugby and hockey. And running, it wasn't really a thing. I mean, you probably go to like the smaller towns to compete for track and stuff like that. But I guess the whole running thing is like a big thing now.
I mean, I suppose one thing is like trail running is a relatively new sport still, right? So, but in George in the recent years, like it's exploded. I think like those Outeniqua mountains are some of the most incredible mountains like I've ever run in. Like, and I've had the privilege to travel a decent amount for running. And like I'll take a weekend in George, like over like most things there. Yeah, it's really special. And like often you wouldn't know, right? Because like you can be like in the town and it's like the European Alps, like right there, but a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they've got this perfect environment, and they've got like some really great people who care about being outdoors and care about community, who've really like developed the sport within George, like over the last, I don't know how many years.
Do you know when you're like from a town, you just want to get out of there and you just don't want to look back.
Yeah.
And then you hear people talking about your town, like, oh my gosh, I love it, it's this. And I'm just like,
Maybe you can go back next year and run Matt with a different lens and see it in a different view.
Well, I do now since I've moved. Since I've moved to Cape Town, every time I go home, I'm just like, it actually is kind of nice out here. It's very beautiful. You do take it for granted when you're from there.
That makes sense.
One day I will run Mutt. I was supposed to have run it already, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But it's on my list of one of the couple of things to do. And one day, I don't know if I'm ready yet. Just because I don't like things that move in the bush. So baby steps when it comes to trail running.
Fair enough.
I'll eventually get there. But I've heard good things about Mutt. I've heard exciting things about Mutt, which also makes me excited to be able to one day do it. You recently took part in it. You did the 60K. You won that. How was that experience?
Oh, it was great. I mean, it was the 4th time I ran George Mutt. Yeah. So as I said, like I've got a lot of love for that area. We have a family.
I'm glad people like George.
I love George.
Actually, it makes my heart happy a little bit.
Like we've got a family holiday house in the Wilderness, which is close by.
Divine.
So like I grew up going to Wilderness like multiple times a year. So I suppose like the area, I've got like a connection to the area.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously like those George Mountains were still quite new to me. Like I wasn't exposed to them like years ago, but once I was, like those mountains are amazing.
The views from up top.
Yeah. I mean,
great.
It's really, really hard to beat from like being in the mountain experience. And then like the event that the guys in Georgia managed to create is like also just like something super special. So I guess like you combine all those things, and like that's why I'll go back to Matt every year. So yeah. And this year was a really good one. I've always loved that experience. The 60K, all the routes are great. But I had a good race this year. So
how many? So you said you've done it 4 times. Was all 4 times? Was it like 60Ks, or was it different distances?
I've done the 60K 4 times. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you gonna do something more?
I don't know. Like I think the 60K route really like appeals to me. Like in terms of the distance and the time duration, it's kind of like my sweet spot.
Yeah.
And the route covers like it's such a great route. Like I'm like, that's almost enough. Like the 100-mile route looks great, maybe one day, but for me, it like ticks a lot of boxes, and it's also a qualifier for UTMB. So it's also like how I got my qualification spot for OCC this year.
Sick. And that's happening in
August. Oh, so like later this month. Yeah.
Oh, sick. Where's that? Is that not in Cape Town?
That's in Chamonix in France. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. What is that? 100-mile, 160 Ks?
160, yeah. Strictly speaking, but often it's like up to 180. They kind of like lump it together. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a long way. It's a long way.
Would you ever do that?
Definitely.
Just out of interest.
Yeah. Again, like going back to curiosity, like I would love to experience running 100 miles. And there's certain races also which really appeal to me. And there happens to be 100 miles. So one day.
Do you feel like you've ever pushed your body to like its max when it comes to like racing, especially with these big distances?
Yeah, I think so. Like,
or you curious to find
pretty close. I think like you think you've reached your max, and then you have another experience and you're like, well, actually I managed to get a bit more out of myself this time than I did last time. So
yeah,
I think
you do tend to learn more or a lot about yourself when it comes to running.
Yeah, and I think you can reach your max in a 10K and you can reach your max in 100 miles, right? It's just
that's a big difference.
Different kind of effort. I mean, if you go like I mean, the 800 meters on the track is really hard if you go all out. So I think there's different maxes. Yeah.
That's actually a very fair point. Very fair points. I mean, you out there for like hours on end, obviously on these trails. And when it comes to like, I mean, you mentioned earlier on, like you did 50 Ks with like no food. I mean, what does your feeling look like if you're doing like 100 Ks?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't not eat.
I mean, I'm not, like, I'm definitely not the expert at either fueling or really ultra distance races. But I mean, for fueling, like, I think it's a constant journey. But I mean, for me, it's like about, I mean, really just trying to get in as much nutrients as you can.
Yeah.
So like working out how much you can tolerate and try like improve that as you go. And then just like trying to get in as much essentially like carbohydrates an hour as possible. So luckily, I mean, my races at the moment that I focus will only kind of go up to about 6 hours.
Okay.
So it's a slightly easier fueling problem to try solve than like a 100-mile race. But still tricky. And yeah, I think, you know, that's an area I'm certainly like always learning and trying to get better on.
Yeah. And when it comes to recovery, like what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, I still like, for me, like sleep is like the absolute ultimate. I think it's the one thing that's like age old, like proven, like there's no dispute that sleep is like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And I don't really like over index on anything else. It's like sleep as much as possible, like eat well. And those are the two boxes I really try and tick, to be honest, like sleep and eat well. Like I can kind of control that. Or sleep is trickier sometimes with 2 kids, but like I'll try and maximize on it, and then like stay well fueled, like whether it's like during training, like before and after training, during training, just throughout the day. Like I genuinely just feel like if your training load is solid, like just the more fuel you can get in, like the better, and the faster you recover.
Any ice baths?
No. No.
Wow.
No, I might get like some hate from cold water plunges, but I do like, for me, like I do just keep it very, very simple. Again, like going back to, I have like just enough time to do the training I want to do. Like I don't really have time to do like
sit in cold water.
Yeah, simple. Like I've done a bit of heat training recently as like to get prepared for racing.
What's heat training?
Like either passive heat training, like in saunas or like lying in hot baths, or training like on indoor trainers or treadmill, like in lots of like clothes. So you basically like just get yourself hot and either exercise or just sit there. And it's a good way to get prepared for racing in warm climates. And there's also performance benefits from heat training. They call it like a poor man's altitude training. So you get some similar effects.
I've never heard that before.
So like that's
insane training.
I mess around with that a bit, but in terms of recovery, it's like sleep a fair amount, get in the right fueling, and that's kind of where I peg it. Yeah.
I would definitely do a cold plunge. I feel like my legs would need it, especially trekking up all those, I mean, up the mountain or anything like that. But that's so interesting. I don't think I've ever not done like a cold plunge after a run, like an intense run.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not like, I'm sure like I can totally understand it. I mean, I also love jumping in the cold like ocean. I haven't like tested it out and realized if it works for me.
Ooh, but I think you should test that out.
I'll test it out.
You never know. That could be your new recovery thing.
Could be the thing. Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm always like, I always like joke, like I heard an interview with somebody once and they're like, do you get massages? And he's like, nah, I stopped getting massages. I just rather sleep instead. So that's to a degree, that's how I feel. Like sleep, fuel, and I think like just managing your efforts in training, like making sure you don't like push too hard in your recovery days, you like take seriously.
And I really do believe that sleep is actually very important when it comes to recovery. someone is saying to me like a lot actually happens to your body when you fall into a deep sleep because a lot of active recovery happens in that period. And I'm just like, that's interesting. You obviously don't know because you're in a deep sleep.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly lots of science behind it. Like I'm not really clued up on it, but
yeah,
I mean, I just know how much better you feel as somebody who's had limited sleep at times over the last 3 years. You really do feel like you have superpowers when you get a good night's
amount of
sleep.
sleep.
Yeah.
How many hours did you say?
Oh no, jeez, I don't know. Like, I mean, if you get like an 8-hour sleep, then that's great. But I've operated off a lot less, so I also think like not getting too obsessed with any of these things is important. Like, if you have a few nights or however long with some bad sleep, if you for some reason can't do your cold plunges after your run, like it'll all be okay. Like we'll get there in the end. I think like obsessing over these like small things, I think like you just don't need to. Yeah.
Would it be safe to assume that you don't have race day rituals then? Like things that you would do before a race?
Like not too much, to be honest. Like I always like certainly make sure that I have access to good coffee or as good of a coffee as possible before.
So no red coffee?
No, it's it. Like, geez, if I can avoid it, if I can avoid it, sure. Other than that, like not too many here. Yeah.
That's cool.
I like to try and go into if I can fool myself that it's just another day on race morning, like that's like my ultimate kind of way of doing it, because I like to go into races feeling as chilled as possible.
Do you ever get nervous though?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely. But I think my relationship with racing has changed a lot over the last 10 years. And like there's nerves, but they're definitely kind of more positive nerves. I just like, I know what racing means to me, and it's not everything. Like the sun will rise the next day regardless. And so like I have more of like a excited, like this is like a blank canvas to go and like do my thing and explore, and it's like a positive energy. Like if I could race every weekend, I'd race every weekend. Yeah.
That's so sick. How often so you're training now for the OCC. How many hours you spend out on the mountain training for it at the moment?
I guess.
How long is that race?
The race is like, I think it's like between like it's 60 k's, 60 kilometers long. So I don't know. I mean, at the moment, I'm probably training around 14 hours a week of running.
Cool.
Yeah, give or take. So I've been waking up early. Yeah.
Very early mornings.
Yeah, which is great because like I mean again, like I really love training. So
yeah.
I love running wherever it is, particularly love running the mountain. And I thoroughly enjoy like the process of training. So like I think I'm pretty sure I'd still train if I was never to race again, I'd still train because I find it fun to like try figure out a way to get better.
Yeah.
Add something in, see how your body adapts, keep going. Like for me, that's a lot of fun.
You've also done this for a long time though. I also find like when you do something for a long time and you suddenly stop, you're just like, So I know a lot of people still keep that same routine, even after they've stopped something or retired or whatever, to kind of help, like just to still stay in some sort of like I don't know what's the word for it, but like, I guess some sort of consistency, just because they've been used to that for so long. So I would say that's still...
I mean, definitely. Like it's like running is like, it's just like what I do every day. It's like part of who I am, I suppose. So I don't know, I guess like some people play sports and at some point when their kind of competitive career's over, like they maybe won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But for me, like I hope to continue running till I can't anymore.
I actually want to take it all the way back to like when you first started running. Just out of curiosity, I know you're a terrace runner now, but what were you racing in at first?
Like honestly can't remember. what my first pair of running shoes was. I really can't. Probably bounce around a lot. I think the first pair of shoes that I got for free was from New Balance as like a high school athlete. And then
so this whole elite thing started in high school already.
Yeah, I suppose like to a degree, yeah. And then like my first opportunity with like a proper sponsor was with Salomon.
Okay.
And then Adidas. So yeah, I have like kind of, I was with Salomon for a long time and will hopefully be with Adidas for a long time. But yeah, actually I'd need to go back. I don't know what shoes I will, yeah.
Huh. Does New Balance have trail shoes?
Yeah.
That's just out of curiosity. I didn't even
I
know.
think like it was, I think trail running is just booming. So like most road running brands are now playing in the space, which is awesome because it's almost like when brands are involved, it like creates more opportunity and like helps grow the sport. And then as the sport grows, more brands see the opportunity, if you know what I mean. So it's like the cycle of just continues to get bigger and bigger, which is, you know, fantastic. As long as we can keep some of the things, you know, like true to how they've always been done, then I think it's a really positive thing.
Yeah. What's your favorite running route in Cape Town?
Sure. This is a really hard one. It's like,
I mean, you sport for choice. It's Cape Town.
Which is your favorite kid? I've always like Kloof Corner Ridge. There's like a scramble up Kloof Corner Ridge is like definitely, I don't do it as much as I used to, but it's like, it's a route which, it's like, it's hard to beat. It's unbelievable. So I'll go Kloof Corner Ridge. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Cape Town, you sport for choice. I think anywhere you turn or any direction you turn, aesthetically it's pleasing. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Favorite road running route? Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, no, that is a tough one here. I mean, maybe Chappies.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Scenic,
you know, like for me, like for like road racing, like wherever there's a race, like I just like racing on the road. So,
have you ever done the Two Oceans Ultra?
No, I've done the half.
Okay.
I'd love to do the ultra one day.
Because I think they go through Chapman's.
Yeah.
And apparently it's probably the most beautiful route.
Yeah, it looks.
You could ever run.
I mean, Cape Town is a hard place to beat, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I have a favorite route, to be honest. I just know there's nothing along the promenade at the moment. I've taken the prom for granted. And I've gotten used to it, and I'm just like,
take a break.
I don't want to see it anymore.
Take a break and then go back, and you'll be like, wow, this is pretty special.
Exactly. So, so just to kind of round it off, 3 race tips that you would give to anyone.
That's a good one. I think like the more prepared you are, the more enjoyable it could be.
Okay.
So that's always where I'm like if you train well, like you giving yourself the best chance to have a really fun day. I think nutrition is very important, particularly like on the trails and the longer stuff. So like if you're putting in all the training, be sure to put in the effort with discovering what nutrition works for you.
Yeah.
And like have fun. Like, I mean, that's like certainly my like mantra in running. So yeah, like have fun. You can like take the training, take it seriously, but you don't need to take yourself seriously. That's it, I think.
That's sick. That's great. That's good. I'm taking notes. I've learned a lot from this. And thank you so much for being on the Running Podcast. Really appreciate it. I know Aaron loved this one. It's for the trail runners.
Yeah, well, now you've committed. You've got George Matt. You've got UTCT.
Oh my God.
I just add Otter to that list before I run off.
Sure, I'm not going to say anything to Otter.
Look, you're in a good space because like I could honestly only race in South Africa for the rest of my life and I'd be a happy person because we have amazing mountains, amazing races.
True.
And good people.
Well, I'll let you know once I start actually trail running, what it's going to look like. I can't promise anything. I'm not promising anything at the moment, but
I'll hold you to it.
I'll let you know. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.